Right now, we're going to talk to you about culture and leadership. Um, the focus of culture and leadership is to connect the the world more or less with with each other, having leaders who actually can uh, connect with other areas, other cultures, other people without necessarily causing a problem, like being productive as well as being in different areas at a lot of different times. Um, that's the focus of it, and globalization has influenced leadership research because since World War II, apparently the world has been a lot more globalized, and that's definitely 100% sure. That's 100% true because the world, we're definitely like we have like a lot of imports and exports, and like a lot of our cultures are connected one way or the other. We have one culture that goes into another culture. Like we connect with each other. We sell each other things. Like we have businesses in different countries, things of that nature. So globalization is definitely true. Like it's a lot easier for us to connect. So it's a lot easier for us to to actually work with each other. And you need leaders who can actually work in between cultures. Um, the Adler Bro, oh the Admiral Adler and Bartholomew. Oh, Bartholomew. The Adler and Bartholomew five cross culture competencies for leaders is the first is they have to understand business practices, political and cultural environments worldwide. So they have to be able to understand how to be how one political system works in different countries. They have to be able to know how the businesses work in different countries. You know how the money works, and they have to be able to understand the environment, how things are different in different countries. The next thing is that they need to learn perspective, tastes, trends, and technologies from other cultures. These tastes, these trends, these perspectives, like these are all ways that you actually fit in, and not only just fit in the cultures in different cultures in different parts of the world, but also how you can promote your business or sell your business or sell what you have, whatever your product is or whatever you are doing. Like being up on these trends is what helps you out when you're going to different cultures. And the next one would be they need to be able to work simultaneously with people from different cultures. So working with different people from different cultures is 100% necessary. Not only just with one culture, but two different cultures. You have to be able to not only connect your one culture with another culture, but you have to actually be able to work with two different cultures, because sometimes you might be able to get along with one person, but then that one person doesn't get along with that person. And you have to be able to mesh it all together so that you can get your goal finished or get your task finished. And the fourth is leaders must be able to adapt to living and communicating in other cultures. So it is not easy to live in a new culture. Like at first, there's culture shock, and that is 100% true. That's a real thing. It actually does happen. And when you go from your country to another country, it's hard. It's not easy. First you're like, wow, this is a crazy place, and you're like, wow, like this place is nothing like my home, and then you start missing home, and it gets hard after a while, and then eventually you start getting used to it, and then after a while, like you're used to it, you're producing, you're doing whatever you need to do in the country, and then it's time to come home, and you come back home, and after you're back home, now you're like you don't even know, like you're feeling the same culture shock for being back home, like you're not even really sure that you're back home. It's a weird feeling to come back home, coming back from being in a different place that you've gotten used to, and then you're coming back home and you're like, wow, I'm really here, like this is what I'm used to, but I'm not used to it anymore because I've been in a different culture for so long. And they need to be able to relate to people from other cultures from a position of equality rather than cultural superiority. So the cultural superiority is definitely Americans definitely do this a lot, and you need to be able to not look down on people, just because people's cultures are different and everybody's not going to be like you. So the biggest thing is just to be able to connect with different cultures and be able to understand them and not judge them, because they're not the same as you. Everybody is different, and to actually work together and look at each other on an equal level to make the best situation, to handle whatever situation needs to be done, whether it's selling a product or making a deal or whatever it may be. And examples. Oh, and I think that the what leaders need is definitely going to be the superiority one. Just being on your own level, like being on the level with a person, or being not thinking that you're better than somebody, and like actually understanding a person on their level is extremely important, especially in different cultures. Like when you go to somebody else's culture, they're a lot different, and they're gonna do things to you, or they're gonna say things to you, or they're gonna act different to you, like ways that you've never seen before. And the thing is to not necessarily not to insult them, but to get used to it, and to embrace it, because not not everybody gets the opportunity that you get. And when you do get the opportunity, you have to take advantage of it and not be resistant, but just let it in. So definitely not having that superiority is the I was what I think is what leaders need. That's definitely the main thing that you need. And being able to actually deal with other cultures, like being in different places, because when you're dealing with these different cultures, like just being there, some people they can't stay there, they can't live there. Like you're there for a while and you're like, wow, like I can't live here anymore. Like you don't want to, like you want to go home. But it's key to be able to actually stay there. So to be level with the people that you're actually working with, and being able to actually live there and live in the culture and handle the culture, embrace the culture, are the two main things that a leader who is going to different cultures needs.